In the fading light of our world, I am the last storyteller, the chronicler of our downfall. It began innocently, a whisper on the wind, a virus that none of us truly understood. But it grew, morphed, and consumed us, plunging our planet into a relentless apocalyptic nightmare. This is my testimony, etched with sorrow, as I recount the story of humanity's tragic end. The first signs were subtle, a cough here, a fever there. Governments assured us it was under control, but soon the facade crumbled. The virus, deadlier and more contagious than we ever imagined, swarmed our cities. Hospitals overflowed, panic spread, and the world we knew descended into chaos. In those early days, my family and I tried to navigate the storm. We masked up, isolated ourselves, and rationed supplies. But the virus defied our efforts, slipping through the cracks of our precautions. It ripped through our home, claiming my grandparents first, then my parents. I watched them wither away, their strength no match for the merciless enemy. As society crumbled, so did our connections. Friends and neighbors became enemies, driven to madness by fear and desperation. The streets, once vibrant with life, now bore witness to anarchy and despair. Each day brought news of a new tragedy, a new life lost to the virus. We clung to hope, but it was a fleeting ember in a world consumed by darkness. Our makeshift shelter became my sanctuary, a lonely refuge from the horrors outside. Alone, I would reminisce about the world before, and laughter echoed through crowded cafes, and the warmth of human touch was a given. Now, the touch of another meant danger, a potential death sentence lurking in the shadows. Months turned to years, and I watched as the world deteriorated further. Nature began to reclaim our cities, as if acknowledging our demise. Once bustling urban centers were now overgrown with vegetation, a haunting reminder of the legacy we were leaving behind. I ventured outside less and less, for every step held the risk of encountering someone infected. In a cruel twist of fate, even technology failed us. The internet blinked out, severing the fragile connections that had sustained us. The last flicker of communication was extinguished, leaving us truly alone in our struggle. I had no way of knowing if there were others still out there, clinging to life as I was. One day, a knock on my door shattered the silence that had become my companion. It was a group of survivors, battered and worn like myself. Their stories mirrored my own. Loss, grief, survival. We banded together, determined to find a way out of this nightmare. For a brief moment, it felt like the embers of hope were reigniting. But hope was a luxury we couldn't afford. The virus had mutated again, more lethal than ever. It swept through our group, claiming them one by one. In the end, I was the sole survivor, standing amidst the wreckage of our dreams. The reality of my isolation hit me like a tidal wave, crushing any lingering fragments of optimism. As I write this, I'm haunted by the memories of what was lost. The world I once knew is a distant echo, a bittersweet melody that I alone remember. The virus, this silent assassin, has extinguished the flames of humanity, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. And so, in the twilight of existence, I bear witness to the end, a solitary witness to the tragedy of our species.